I'm going to go through really fast the H2pro water-powered system from Tucker USA. What this system does, it utilizes three filters, an RO 40-inch, a DI, and a carbon filter to give you 1 gallon per minute of pure water. And you can add a pump to this. We do have a 110-volt option with a pump on board. That will give you 2 gallons per minute. These systems with Arrival and the H2pro water power that give you around 1 gallon per minute are really meant for one user. If you want a dual user that can give you 2 or more gallons per minute, the H2pro 110, which has the pump on board, will give you that 2 gallons per minute, or the Tucker Max output will give you 3 gallons per minute. We also have a couple options at tuckerusa.com, but I'm just going to go into this one. When you first get this machine, it's going to have the RO already inside the unit. You are going to need to put in the DI filter. And how you do that, it's going to come with two filters. There's two clamps on here. You're going to have your DI and your replacement carbon for your next use. So you're going to put those in a cool environment, keep them dry, keep them wrapped. And you're going to unclamp this and then take the DI with the ring, black ring on top, and slide it in. And then you are going to tighten up the clamps that way, and it's as easy as that. Read the directions that come with your unit. There is special instructions for the carbon of this H2pro water power. You have to isolate the carbon, take a hose out of the way for when you put water through this to flush the carbon out, because it's going to be black for a while, for probably a minute or 2 minutes. Flush it out for 3 to 5 minutes and let that flush pure. And then once it's clear, you can reconnect your hose and end up using your system. On this specific system, it's a little bit different than the Arrival. The inlet is on the side, as well as your DI and your RO. This still has your DI saver mode on top, and it does have the flush valve on the bottom. When you first get this system, you're going to want to get the filters in place like I just mentioned. Read your directions. That's really important here. Once you get the DI and the carbon filters all taken care of, now you can use your unit. You have your inlet right here. You're going to take your spigot, flush it out wherever you're using it, whether it be at your house or a client's house. I highly recommend testing the spigot before you introduce it to the system in case the parts per million, the TDS is extremely high. That way the system will tolerate it, but that way, hey, I just shot 800,000 TDS into the system. If you end up replacing the filters a little bit quicker, you know why. Once you have the garden hose, that's a 3/4 inch garden hose. Don't use a pocket hose. You're going to choke the system out. You're not going to get as much pressure in there at the rate that you'd want it. It's going to start coming out your bypass. The bypass is already on, so you're going to want to keep it on, let it flush out, let everything kind of get wet. And then once you close that, you're going to choose whether you want to do an RO or DI option up top there. I highly recommend starting the system in RO mode to let that RO do its job and to get that parts per million a lot lower. So before you get it into your DI, it's sitting between 15 and 20 and 40, whatever. That way your DI doesn't have to take as big of a hit. The DI saver is just that, DI save mode. So if you're getting 0 to 10 parts per million out of your RO, you don't even need to engage the DI. You can use your system. You just take your lead hose from your reel and connect it to your system. If you do not have that 0 to 10 number, flick it into DI mode, and now it's going to start coming out of your DI. That's where the money's going to happen. You're going to let it flow for probably 2 minutes, start testing it. It's going to get to 0, I promise you. And then you'll be able to utilize the DI. It will no longer be coming out of your RO. Water is going to consistently come out of the bypass valve. Whether it's in use or whether you're in flush mode, water is always going to come out of that bottom portion. When you're going to clean up for the day, your last job of the day, you want to put it in flush mode while you're cleaning everything else up. Let those contaminants flush out of the bottom of the machine, and it'll keep your filters cleaner just a little bit longer for use. Before you use this system, you will have to flush your carbon. Right at the bottom of this system, there is an important tag, and it says, be sure to flush your carbon filter with tap water for 5 minutes to remove all carbon fines from the water supply prior to connecting. It's already disengaged from the connection. So take the little plug that's on it off, flush this thing. It's in your inlet. You're going to flush this thing until it's black no longer. And then you can see where you just reattach it and plug it in. And now you can utilize your system. That is very important. If you do not utilize that and you just plug the system in, you're going to foul your RO and your DI, and you will have to purchase new filters. This is an option on the Ultimate Residential Kit. We do have this at tuckerusa.com. This does come in the 110 version, which will get you an extra gallon per minute. And then you can choose also between any of these things, a 40-foot pole, and you can actually add a screen cleaner if you'd like. So there's a lot of options there. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. I hope I did a decent job of explaining this to you and how to set up your system, how it works. I can go more in depth about cleaning in another video, but I hope this works. You can find these at tuckerusa.com. You can call or text me. You can email me, jamie@rhgproducts.com. You can you can text or call me at 269-769-8849. I'd be happy to assist you, especially if you purchased from me directly. If you're looking to upgrade to a system like this or just looking or have questions, you can text or call or email me as well. This system will work for solar, but you will need a pump for solar. Now, I'll give you a quick tip here at the end. You can add a pump to either the Rival or the H2pro water powered. Like I said, we have a booster pump on tuckerusa.com. Works extremely well, pretty bulletproof. And what you do is you add it before the system. So you're going to go spigot, pump, garden hose, system. And that's going to push that water a lot quicker through these systems to give you that extra flow. Hope you enjoy.